Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be joined by a special guest, Lee from Leboman Reviews, and we're going to be reviewing Friday the 13th, the final chapter. So before I get into my part of the review, I'm going to let Lee do his part real quick and everything, so enjoy everybody, and take it away, Lee.
Hey guys, this is Lee from Leboman Reviews. I want to thank Ogre Boy for inviting me to do this review for Friday the 13th, the final chapter. If you've watched any of my videos, you know that this is my favorite horror movie of all time. It's my favorite slasher of all time. It's my favorite film in the Friday the 13th franchise, and it has my favorite Jason and Ted White. This was the first horror movie that I saw in the theater. I saw it opening night, Friday, April 13th, 1984. I was 13 years old. I actually had to get my dad to sign for me to go see this movie. I love the direction from Joe Zito, who had done The Prowler. The practical special effects from Tom Savini, who had also worked on The Prowler, are just absolutely phenomenal. You have Jason at his most brutal, and the performances from Corey Feldman as Tommy is just... He's such a relatable character. He's about the same age I am. I would have been a year or so older than he was when this movie was made, so I can relate to that young teenage excitement when all the kids move in next door when he sees the girls skinny dipping. That's the way little boys act, and I can relate to that. You have probably the most likable group of characters in any Friday the 13th film, which makes the movie even more impactful because you actually care. You don't want to see these kids get killed, so you're invested, you like them, and when they die, it's really, really disturbing. You got an iconic performance from Crispin Glover, who is absolutely off the charts in this movie. It was kind of misleading at the time. It was billed as the final chapter, and we were told it was going to be the last one, and we now know it was just it was just a start. But this is one I can watch over and over again. I absolutely love this movie. Definitely one of my favorites of all time. The acting is really, really good, especially for this kind of movie. The writing is really good, especially for a slasher. It is one of the hallmarks of 80s horror. It's one of the hallmarks of the slasher genre. And in my opinion, it is the best movie in the Friday the 13th franchise. So thank you for inviting me to do this. I'm Lee, and I'm done.
Thank you, Lee, for being in this video. It's really awesome getting to collab with you and everything. And I'll leave a link to your channel in the description so everybody y'all can check out his channel. He's got a lot of awesome reviews and stuff on there, so definitely check his channel out and everything. And so now I'll get on with my part. As Lee mentioned, the movie is directed by Joe Zito, and it's written by Barney Cohen and from a story by Bruce Idemi Seiko. I probably butchered his name. I'm sorry. And this movie it picks up right where the third movie left off. I love how it picked up at the very beginning of it. We get little flashbacks from the previous three movies to kind of get everybody up to date with what's going on in the series, and then it picks right up where the last one left off, and they're taking Jason's body to the coroner and everything. Of course, Jason's not really dead, and he kills the coroner and one of the nurses, and then goes back to Camp Crystal Lake. There's a group of teenagers that are moving in to a house out by a couple of the regular residents of the lake, and Jason starts pretty much killing them off one by one. The cast is really, really good in this. Corey Feldman plays Tommy Jarvis, which this was something new for the series, to have someone that young as one of the main characters. I thought he was really good. And Kimberly Beck plays his sister, Trish. And I thought she was pretty good. She's not one of my most favorite final girls, but I thought she was a pretty good one and everything. I love the relationship between her and Tommy and everything. And their mom is played by Joan Freeman, and I think she does a good job. The three of them work really good together and make it believable that they're a family. Then all the kids that are moving in next door and stuff, there's a lot of them. Peter Barton plays Doug, who is he's dating the virgin girl that's trying to save herself until she's with the right person, and of course they end up having sex in the shower, and of course they're one of the ones that gets killed pretty quickly after that happens. You know how Jason goes after the ones that have sex really quickly. And his girlfriend, Sarah, is played by Barbara Howard, and both of them work really good together, and both of them were pretty good in their roles. I thought Barbara Howard was really good. I actually thought she was going to be the final girl when I very first saw the movie and everything, so I was kind of surprised that she wasn't the final girl. It kind of like in the third movie, I thought it was going to be someone else that it was. Judy Aronson plays Samantha, who is the one that goes skinny dipping and gets killed in the little raft thing on the lake and everything. I thought she did a good job as this character and everything. I know there was like a big behind the scenes thing that went on between Ted White, who plays Jason, and the Joe Zito, the director, kind of not really getting along very well, and because of Joe Zito didn't really like the way, or didn't really act like he cared that Judy Aronson was getting sick from being in the cold water and everything, filming that scene and everything, and Ted White almost quit the role because of that. So, but I thought her performance was pretty good and everything, and I'm glad that Ted White stayed on, and I'll talk about him here in a few minutes. Alan Hayes plays Samantha's boyfriend Paul, and he's good. Not anything extremely special or anything. And then there's two twins that the group meets when they're on their way to the lake to go skinny dipping. Camilla and Carrie Moore play them. Their names are Tina and Terry. And Tina ends up sleeping with Jimmy, who is played by Crispin Glover. I also like Crispin Glover in this movie quite a bit. He's really weird and stuff, but his weirdness don't really start showing till towards the end when they're at the party. He's doing this really weird dance. It's funny and everything, and he gets a pretty cool death scene. There's a scene where he gets Jason puts a corkscrew through his hand, and then he slashes him in the face with, I can't remember exactly what it was. I think it might have been just his machete, but it was an awesome death scene. And then Ted is pretty much Jimmy's best friend. He calls him names throughout the whole movie and everything. But he's likable. He's funny and stuff, and he's like watching these old black and white silent porn movies and stuff. So it was kind of, but he's a humorous character and everything, but he was pretty likable. All these characters are actually really likable, and it's one of the things I like about this movie. Just like with Part 3, they actually make it where you actually care about these characters. Unlike even though the second one had some pretty good characters, the first movie was known for pretty much just having the little one-note characters that were mainly there to be killed off. And while this movie, of course, all these characters are here to be killed off, they're at least they're given personalities and made to they make it where you actually care about them and stuff. So I really like that and everything. Eric Anderson plays Rob, who is the brother of Sandra from Friday the 13th Part 2. He's wanting to get revenge on Jason for killing his sister and everything, and he's really good too. I didn't think he was very bad at all, and although I do think he's killing me line when Jason starts to kill him is a little bit corny, but it's also kind of humorous at the same time. But I just really love this cast and everything. Corey Feldman especially, though, he was really awesome in this movie. But pretty much the reason why anybody really watches these movies is because of Jason, and Ted White is one of the best Jason actors. He's brutal, and he's just really intimidating and awesome. He did a really great job playing Jason. He's known for being a stunt actor and everything. I think it said that I had looked him up and everything and was reading about him. It said he had done stunt work for John Wayne and Clark Gable and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of interesting and everything. But I thought he was excellent as Jason and everything. Perfect for the role and everything. And I also like that he's from Oklahoma City, which is where I'm from. So one of the best Jasons is from my home state and city. So I thought that was really cool too. But this is a really fun movie. That it goes by really fast. And everything. Like I said, all the characters are really likable in this. You hate to see them die, but you also want to see them die because you want to see the awesome kills. So I like how the movie does that. It makes me feel sad for the ones that die, but also say awesome when they do because of how cool the kills are. Tom Savini came back to do the special effects and stuff in this, and it was some of the best in the series, if not the best in the series, and everything. And the score, once again done by Harry Manfredini, is perfect. I think it's one of the best scores in the series and everything. Right up there with the first three. I mean, all of the scores in the series are really good, especially the ones done by him and everything. The cinematography in this is good. It's not a whole lot different than what the cinematography was in the first three, but it, like I said in my reviews for those, that it just really brings really good atmosphere and stuff in the wood setting and everything. So I thought that was cool. And like I said, the death scenes in this are really awesome. I think my favorite one would probably be either Doug or Sarah. Both of those were characters that I liked, but the death scenes are pretty brutal. Doug, he just gets bashed into the shower wall by Jason. It's really awesome. And then Jason throws a axe through the door and it hits Sarah in the chest. Really awesome death scene. So both of those are really good death scenes and everything. I'd give Friday the 13th, the final chapter, a 9.5 out of 10. It's one of the best in this series and one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and one of my favorite slasher movies of all time. It's probably my second favorite slasher movie, actually. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of this movie, and thank you again, Lee, for being in this video, and be sure to check out his channel. Like I said, I'll leave a link to that, and I'll also leave a link to the group Horror Enthusiasts 101 on Facebook, so y'all can check that out, because it's an awesome group and everything. And Lee and I are in there, along with Esley from Entertainment Fanatic Reviews, Corey from CDR, and Derek from Derek's Horror Corner. So definitely check out that. And thank you, and have a good day, everybody.